that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy Jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pull up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the six. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit to the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles right at defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all wanna toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy, Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today. What's up with you guys? What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we live in the building, man. How are you guys doing on this great Tuesday evening? We are sliding in here, man, trying to make sure you guys are, or have not just, oh, I ain't gonna say nothing crazy on air, but, man, y'all know what I mean, man. It's crazy out there right now with no sports, man. I literally just wanted to just donate my cable boxes to somebody because they are useless right now. But shout out to your boy, man. What up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast. We live in the building. We about to get some shout outs real quick as soon as I can get this thing up. But you guys already know if I'm live, you already know I'm gonna have your favorite cowboy cousin on the line. So what's up with your boss, Cowboy, man? How you doing this evening?
What's going on, man?
Shoot, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Another day at the office, easy work.
Shoot, I heard that, man. Shoot, man. Hey, let's shout out to some of these faithful people in this comment box. Hey, you guys, remember, as we give you a share, simply just give your boy. As we give you a shout out, please give your boy a share. What's up with you, Marcy? How you doing? She got one of the most active Facebook groups out there. She always puts a like today, man. Let me tell you, I shared a post in there, and she hit me and she was like, West Coast, I had to take your post down. I was like, what? She was like, because we had already watched it in a watch party. I said, dang, girl, how you share my stuff before I share my own stuff? Like, that's crazy. Like, like, dude, she got a direct source right into my phone or something, bro?
And then Marcy will put your name on it too. She'll be like, courtesy of West Coast, aka. And she'll put your real name.
Yeah, man. So I'd be like, what? How do you beat me sharing my own stuff? That makes me crazy.
Marcy, she's a captain.
I know. Hey, salute. Hey, what's up with you?
She's a captain.
Absolutely. What's up with you, Deshaun? What's up with your main? Hey, one of my supporters, I appreciate you. What's up with you, Gary? Gary Allen. Hey, every time I see Gary, I always think that's producer G. But what's up with you, Gary? What up with you, Juan? I see you, man, rocking your Laker jersey, man. I think that's that number 8 throwback, too, man. R.I.P. to GOAT, man. Adrian, I see you, man. Alfred, what's up with you, man? Juan, what's up with you? Cody Niff. Hey, Cody, man, your name is coming real familiar around these parts. What's good with you, man? I'm looking for you to get a top fan and a supporter badge at some point because I didn't see your name around here. Some of y'all names, you know what I'm saying? Plus, it's a 4 and a 4, so it just sticks out to my head sometimes. So I didn't see you around here. What up with you, Cody? You always got good comments. What up with your OG Travis? What's up with your man? OG Travis got that profile saying he is safe in the house. Boss Cowboy, you look like you safe in the house too. How you doing?
Safe. And then I got Gregory on my line. What's up, Gregory? Joyce, Wendy, Adam Galloway. He said, "What's up, Boss Cowboy and West Coast?" And Adam. So yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you guys this right here. Like, you know how you have that phone buddy that you always talk to on the phone, and like you always like Boss Cowboy. He's like my phone buddy. Like we always talk about. You know, I probably call him way too much. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you, in these comments, in these worlds of chat rooms, hey, my boy Mike Zappy, that's my comment buddy right there. Like we always talk. Like we're always back and forth stuff. Terrell, you have good content. What's up with you, man? He always hold us down for the shares. What's up with your big TC? I see you, man. Hey, man.
Quiz in the house.
I see you, Quiz, man. Hey, me and my boy Collins, man. Me and my boy Terrence, man. We was supposed to be at the draft. Y'all don't understand. Like, I'm going to tell you I'm Boss Cowboy. Let me tell you how much we were supposed to be at the draft. I just got my refund from my room last week. That's how close we were supposed to be at the draft. Like me and TC, man. What's up with you, baby?
We got you, man. Hate to hear it. I mean, you know, I was excited, man. Like,
hey,
yeah. And then it was Vegas, and it was coming off the boat, man. It's not even just the draft. It was gonna be a crazy kind of West Side experience, you know. Bro. Hey, listen, man. Listen, I'm gonna go.
This one hurt.
Go ahead.
This one hurt. I ain't gonna lie. This one hurt.
Go ahead.
This one really hurt real quick.
Get your tears out, bro. Go.
This really hurt. This one hurt. Hey, man, and I'm gonna tell you, man. The cold thing about the game is, man, it's like, man, like you don't know, man. We had so much great stuff planned for the draft, man. So shout out, man. Shout out to Airbnb for shooting it
my
back.
boy Nick Reed from RDST. What's up, baby?
RDS. Hey, what is that? What's that acronym? I'm bad with acronym. What does it stand for?
Real Deal Sports Talk, man. So I got a lot of my boys. They come in every now and then. Nick is one of the realest, though, man. Diehard Cowboy. And he's not a bopper, so he like us to where, look, man, if he agree, but if he don't, he'll tell you straight up.
Look, man, if your breath stink, I'm going to tell you. Why? Because I love you enough to tell you I'm going to give you a piece of gum. That's what we believe
type of
here.
Boys, man.
That's what we believe here. You
like, nah, we don't do none of that on.
You know what I'm saying? Don't have me all up in Jerry face smelling like catfish. You know what I'm talking about? Let West Coast know.
Gum.
You know what I'm saying?
Gum. You was wrong. Let's get it right.
Let's get it
got
right.
Jose the bald head nut and Tavis the draft head.
What up with you, Travis the Great? Hey, Travis, you're gonna love tonight's show because I left something out that I'm a surprise Boss Cowboy because I told him we were gonna do 2 things that I told him, and then there's a third thing that we gonna do. It's a special. It's a secret.
My boy left out a secret.
We left out a secret, and I was supposed to give you a disclaimer before we do this secret too. But look, man, this is what we doing, man. Tomorrow's April 1st is getting serious. We drafting tonight, man. I got the fantasy mocked up.
Play with me.
I don't want no disclaimers from you, boss. Talking about some, hey man, I just want to let you know this is, it could go with, I don't want to hear none of that. We gonna have fun.
You gonna get that.
I know, but I don't want to just. But we
if
just
you
make
put
it.
up the draft. You can't tell me how to draft. Man.
I'm not saying I'm gonna tell you how to draft, but I'm saying, but don't be like you like. Oh man, don't be. You know what I'm saying? Just let it.
Oh, you talking about? Don't be like. Oh, that's not
real.
real.
Yeah, just let it flow.
I'm gonna get you with that too, man. That's just part of it, man. Hey, man, just get your chin ready.
Let the ambiance. Let it flow. Hey, what's up with your man? Travis got the double supporter. I don't know how you get the plus supporter. I'm very interested. Let me know what you did to do that. Cherry, how you doing? Coolest name on the comment. What up with your bald head nut? I see you, man. Rita, I see you. Hey, so man, let's get up in this. Let's go ahead and let's get into these. The kind of like the first thing I wanted to kind of talk about tonight, man. And the first thing I wanted to kind of talk about tonight was something that kind of passed about probably dropped about 3-4 hours ago. Well, I'm in Cali, so it's 6 p.m. out here. So, I mean, it probably, felt a little bit later. But they did make some changes to the playoff structure and to the playoff rules. So I want to go ahead and take a look at that real quick, man. Oh, man, I should have hit it with the fade so you could hit the I be forgetting.
Miguel with the 200 stars.
Oh,
Stars.
hey man, I'm gonna tell y'all too. Hey, shout
And
out
y'all
to
gotta put like a question when y'all do that too, man. Because obviously we make that a priority, man. When y'all put down, obviously support us financially like that. We want to address what y'all talking about first. Obviously, not saying that y'all better than anybody, but
the
it's just
stimulus.
priority. I mean, it's just kind of courtesy. Wouldn't you say, West Coast?
Absolutely, I would absolutely, positively say so. Like that's how it's supposed to be. My wife just pulled up. Lord, don't let her let my garage up, aka my studio door up.
Don't tell everybody, man.
The engine just cut off. Woo! Hey, y'all, man. Hey, shout out my lady, man, for doing the right thing, man. It was a 50-50 shot, and she made the right choice.
When you hear those leaves clicking, you really know you rocking.
Hey, man, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. That's why 2020 is little stuff like that that lets me know 2020 is going to be different, man. I just know it. I feel it. I feel it in my soul. All right, man, so let's get on to these playoffs, man. Let's get on to this. Hey, man, so this is what's happening today. This is what came out today. Hey, we are at 82. We are at 82 people. You guys know that we talk differently when we hit 150. So everybody give me a share, man. Let's get it over here to 150 because we know it's about 70, 80 more people that we know that's crazy in the head and need to understand what's going on with their team and with the league today. All right, because I'm not to deviate, but I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. And I ain't saying the Lord. If you a Cowboy fan. I'm not even a Cowboy fan, just a football fan. We are all united. We need to have a united day of prayer because the NFL is fighting back. All these other leagues closed because they kind of had to, but the NFL is really, really fighting back. And I'm fighting with them, Lord. So we might have to schedule a national day of prayer to get this thing ended. You know what I'm saying? Because, Lord, I don't know. Hey, Boss Cowboy, say he not going to put you more than you can bear. He know I can't bear it. He know I can't handle it, Boss.
Cohen with the 200 stars.
What's up with you, Cohen? Hey, Cohen, shoot your boy a question, man. We interested.
And Cohen been doing every show.
I know.
It's some people that say they appreciate, and it's some people that go out their way to show it, and that is my man Cohen. And I see you. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. So, hey, man, so we didn't pray. We didn't thank you. It's going to happen. All right, so we're doing boom. All right, so let's talk about what happened today, man. I'm saying, man, for real, he said I can't better at. All right, so CBS, NBC to broadcast annual wild card games. That's I don't really think that's I don't know if there was a difference last year. I'd have to look. I think the wild card games last year and the year before were just broadcast by ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, it kind of makes sense because they're adding another playoff game that other networks will be available to, get in on that revenue. But you know what that also means? Money, 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 money. Money. Money, 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 money. Man, you got three. Think about this. The NFL made about $15 billion last year, and that was basically dealing with one or two networks. Now they're gonna enter a third into there. Man, the NFL is gonna be making so much money next year, and that's why I believe the NFL is gonna be fighting to keep this season to go. You know what I'm saying? They might even buy the cure themselves. So let's go to the first thing. It says NFL clubs voted today to extend the postseason by 2 teams, beginning with the 2020 season. So, Boss Cowboy, I'm going to tell you how that affects you. You're like, West Coast, why does that affect me? Well, guess what? That means the 9th seed team would be in the playoffs. So that means your Dallas Cowboys would have been in the playoffs this year. What do you think about? I just want to, in 2 seconds, what are your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys possibly being in this playoffs?
Because that's the goal of every season. Like the goal of every season is in this order, in my opinion, to win your division and to just get in the tournament. So like I think it's a lot of people spend a lot of energy on records, which is important because you especially want momentum going into the tournament. But that's the goal. And then you want to also be hot getting into the tournament. So I saw a lot of wasted energy even on us in December. I'm not saying me and you. I'm saying us as a fan base where we were so ready to get rid of Jason Garrett and stuff that we was like, I'd rather us not get in the tournament. It's like, no, you actually want to get in the tournament. I don't care if you don't like your coach. You want to get in the tournament because you want to at least have a 4-game shot of getting hot and hopefully getting on a run. And sometimes, especially as talented as we was last year. So, I mean, any chance to get you in, I love. And I'm glad that they made it a better chance for us and everybody, but especially us, to sometimes just get that chance.
Yeah, man, because you got to think about it like this, Boss Cowboy. The last 3 playoff series that the Dallas Cowboys have either been in, there's always been a half in a game. I think there's only been 1 year in the last 3 years where a full game decided who was going to the playoffs or who was representing the East in the playoffs. So, I mean, the East has been one of those divisions because, despite what everybody say, the East is a pretty damn competitive division. You know what I'm saying? It is. You know what I'm saying? You have
that acronym of weak only got on us this year, and it's like the division with the most Super Bowls is us.
Yeah,
our division by a mile.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Super competitive.
Super competitive. I mean, think about this, man. When was the last time there was a back-to-back NFC championship, NFC champion? That lets you right there know how hard it is to win the East. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Tom Brady's old division where you can, win. Third. They don't even celebrate. They don't even print up shirts for their division. Why? Because they won like 12 times straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's different. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's back and forth in our division. And I always say this about our division when people try to kind of clown. I say, really, just think about it. Who was the teams that knock off the best of New England? Philly, the Giants, and the Giants knocked them off on 9 and 7s.
Yeah.
So you will look at that 9 and 7 and say, oh, that's weak. But when you got to go through Dallas and Philly and the Redskins, and we all hate each other, that's what gets you ready for the playoffs. That's why I always take Dallas going into just getting there, because we so battle tested from our division. We can get hot at the right time on any one of us, to be honest.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna tell you guys something else. Go look at what's up with you guys on YouTube too. I see you, Tyrone Church. What's up with you, Adam? I see you too. Hey, Super Chat is on over there too. Make sure y'all hit it up. But hey, man, another thing I like about this also is, man, because you got to see it like this. In the East, not only is it competitive, but I mean, you have, every single year, if you look at the games between the divisions, between the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys and the Giants, the Dallas Cowboys between the Washington, show me a time where there's a blowout on either side. There's never a blowout. If you look at the point differential between our division and everybody else, man, the Kansas City Chiefs, they whipping everybody in their division. They whipping them dudes. Usually every division is set up where they have one dominant team that's just whipping everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it goes in cycles. Like, for instance, look at the Saints. Look at the Saints division. People don't even remember, like, the Saints. People just be thinking that the Saints been just Jesus for like the last 50 years. That's not true. They actually recently went 7-9, 3 years straight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, their division goes. Yeah, their division goes in cycles, but it's like this. Don't even look at the records in the division. Think about this: our division championship is usually not even determined until like week 15. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, every single team is fighting. Like, bro, up to like week 14, Washington was technically still in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody lays down. Our final game. Think about this, bro. Our final games. You have teams that they were jeopardizing the 5th overall pick to drop back to 11th, and they did not care. You want to know why? Because they wanted to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
That no other division's doing that, bro.
2 years ago, we could have knocked out the Rams if we wasn't so injured in the defensive tackle position, and didn't play that good there. But it was still a good game. And then you look at the fact that Philly squeaked in that same year, barely got in, but was knocking people off and coming down to one drop ball and field goals happen to be made or missed. Oh, our division is a monster. Like somebody said today, West Coast, they said, hey, boss, y'all should just run it. And my first mind was like, yeah.
What's up, Star Breezy?
But then I said, nah. You know what I mean? It's like, it don't work like that in our division. Like, even like, you can't sleep on the Redskins. Everybody over here like, oh, the Redskins weak. No, they not. They are not weak. Matter of fact, they super strong, and they're a couple of pieces from being very dangerous. Again, they need some offense. Their defense is stacked, and they also in an ideal place in every draft position. So it's like they can do just like the Saints did, I think, about 3 years ago, where they just kind of went all defense and threw all their draft assets at defense, and they went deep immediately. That's exactly how dangerous even the Redskins. And then you'll look at the Giants and sleep on them. You can't sleep on the Giants. If they build just a little bit, especially in this draft with the tackle quality that's in this draft, they can build that line around Saquon, and then all of a sudden they scary again. They can get some of these quality receivers in this draft, and all of a sudden they very scary again. So it's no sleeping on this division. Not from me.
Yeah, man, and I mean, like you said, man, it's like, and I mean, wow, what you said about
What's
the
up,
Giants,
Liv?
what you said about the Giants is absolutely right, man. It's like, each one of these teams are literally pieces away, from being productive. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know you guys, if you just think of the names that the Washington Redskins have, if they just use it, you would think they'd have a pretty good team. They have Haskins, then they got that guy Geis, who's at some point gonna be a decent running back, man, because outside of injury, man, that boy Geis is nice. That's why I've said, man, in my opinion, the Dallas Cowboys if all three guys are healthy, man, you got to think like this. You have three of the top three running backs in the NFL in your division. You know what I'm saying? So It's like, and then look at the Washington Redskins. Look at their freaking defensive line. We've already know the Eagles have always had the Eagles on the low have always had a decent defensive line and defense. This is going to be a year of optimism for the Eagles. And it's gonna be and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this is gonna be a make or break year for Carson Wentz, man, because there's a lot of stuff they getting rid of that you ain't gonna be able to replace in the draft, and some of that stuff that you're letting go of it because you think your quarterback is that guy and is gonna be able to do it, man. So I'm interested to see what these Philadelphia Eagles are gonna look like in 2020. But yo, boss,
Their first pick will be a receiver.
I would think so. If it's not, they god dang.
Because they love to help Wentz, man. They like, how we give that kind of like the leftovers in talent. They give him every year prime state. Every year they make him first. Like even last year, it's no surprise that Peters is gone, right? Because they got Dillard in the first round and moved up to get him. And then they gave him another receiver out of Stanford. That was the number 6 overall receiver in most draft analysis graders, And then they gave him Sanders. Like their first 3 picks was all for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the fact that, it looked like Alshon was, kind of talking about him and lobbying under the table for Foles and stuff like that. I almost bet you they go cut him at the last minute, get rid of him, and then they go try to get. I bet you they get Jefferson from LSU. I bet you almost $1 million that if he fall that far, he's going to be a Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Because they're going to go for helping him, even though they need corner. They need corner exponentially, but they go pass it and they go say, let's go for our boy first. Because they always, to me, trying to one-up us. They know Dak is the man. They know Dak is in the light. So they always just subtly tired of being our little brother, and they trying to do everything they can to put Wentz in the light.
And can I also say something? I mean, despite all that, it just kind of makes common sense too.
Yeah, it does, because they do need they need a corner receiver.
Like they need a corner. I mean, they need a corner. They need a receiver. I mean, they probably need a receiver more than they need a corner. That's why I would definitely look at.
I say corner more. And
corner?
The reason
Okay.
is I just debated about Wentz, so it's fresh on my mind.
Shoot, man, I ain't gonna argue nothing on Philadelphia Eagles. But yo, man.
Cool. Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, but moving on. But hey, man, this next thing I want to kind of touch on tonight is kind of like some kind of preparing ourselves for this draft and getting ourselves ready for this draft in about 24 days. If everything goes to, I mean, it's going to be on the internet. Everybody's going to be chilling at their house. So it's like, I feel that there should be no reason why the draft shouldn't go on. So, I mean, about 24 days, Dallas Cowboys will be adding a new player on their roster by way of the draft. And that's going to open up some opportunities. Now, despite all that, man, I think that, before we even can talk about the draft, man, I want to kind of take to this kind of like this last moment to kind of talk about, because you brought up a really good thing that you said about weapons, and the Dallas Cowboys not necessarily getting, Dak Prescott weapons. But in my opinion, man, I think the Cowboys have actually gotten them the weapons, man, in the form of, and I know y'all gonna say, oh my God, when I say this, but in the form of like Ryan Switzer and another guy in the form of Tony Pollard, man. I just think and I believe that when it comes to both of them, that the Dallas Cowboys absolutely had no clue on how to use them. You know what I'm saying? And like, that was one of my biggest takes, even just from Tony Pollard's tape from last year, man. I remember I first discovered Tony Pollard, and it was actually from you, Boss Cowboy, because you were talking because Tony Pollard was the running back number 2, right? But they had this other guy who was running back number 1 who was just ridiculous. Henderson was just ridiculous. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, there's gonna be this guy. If you're a fantasy
last year at 6.5.
If you're a fantasy football guy right now, I'm giving you guys the only fantasy football advice I'll tell you all season, in any of my life. Get Henderson as your running back because he's gonna go ridiculous. He's gonna go ridiculous. Now that was their starting running back. I mean, this dude got drafted in the 3rd round. You should have thought about it then when they had just signed Todd Gurley 2 years before then that they would go all in. They get a 3rd round running back. Well, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I kind of thought then that he was gonna be the starter. But long story short, while I was watching that, man, I saw this slot back dude just running back and forth and just being everywhere, like being lined up as a wide receiver, being lined up as a, being in the backfield as a running back, being lined up as a slot, just lined up absolutely everywhere. And the cool thing I also like that they did a lot is they would put Henderson and him both in the backfield, and they would fake the ball to Henderson and let Tony run under it and then kind of throw it back the opposite way, like making the linebacker choose, the direction that he was going. But the number one thing that I absolutely loved about Memphis and the way they used Tony Pollard is, Boss Cowboy, you did not see him getting the ball behind the offensive line like a traditional running back really at all. Like, yeah, he was standing back there, but when you actually go to where they were giving him the ball, it was always in space. It was always like, out on the flats. It was always like in front of a linebacker or on a jet sweep somewhere where he can make a play. And if you go back and just look at how the Dallas Cowboys used him, man, I mean, just think about this, man. I brought this up to someone. Someone said, man, he can't be a slot. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was a receiver. Think about this. He had 1,292 receiving yards in college. Well, he only had 941 rushing yards. He had 4 touchdowns. He had 2 receiving and 2 rushing. You know what I'm saying? You know what he had 7 of? He had 7 kick returns. Think about this. The kid had more kick returns, touchdowns, than he actually had offensive touchdowns. That's ridiculous. Like, Tony he's ridiculous. He's a monster. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, one thing I noticed about Memphis is they used him in space. So, Boss Kev, I want to ask you a question, man. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys used Tony Pollard correctly? And then we can go into our next question about could he possibly play in the slot for you, or what do you think else he can do for you to help him on this team?
I think it was off and on last year. I think it's like they would forget about him and then be like, oh, yeah, we do got Pollard. And then they would, give him a chance and he would do his thing. It was to me a major identity crisis with Dallas last year. We didn't know really what we was and what to do last year. We was, to me, all over the place most times. So it was sometimes we committed to the run and we would commit to Zeke. Then sometimes we would commit to both Pollard and Zeke, and then we would go away from Pollard and be just Zeke. Then it would be another game where it was about Dak. And a lot of times when we kind of made those decisions, it was always kind of, to me, the wrong time to do it. Like,
so we always
was certain games that we pegged, like, this the game that they should come out throwing, and they would come out running.
That happened
like
so
even
many
the last
times.
game, like week 17, when Dak just needed a few yards to break Romo's all-time yardage record. Yeah, they came out running, and it's like, but the Redskins had their whole front seven. The only thing that was majorly depleted was the secondary, and it was epically depleted, and we came out running. We was backwards. So to answer your question, and I went full circle to say, no, we didn't use Pollard right. I don't think we really got all that Pollard can do. So, because when I see Pollard, if Andy Reid had a Pollard, oh my God, he would be like a Hill, right? To where when they first was using Hill, they was putting Hill everywhere, bro. In the backfield, like you said, doing them on jet sweeps, getting them in space, right? Putting them on the X, putting them in the slot. They were just like, we go give y'all hell with this guy. Because we go have you so confused in days on what personnel to use when we put him on the field. And the good thing about a jackknife like him is you're going to create mismatches just in personnel packages if you keep switching them out, you know?
Yep.
So if you roll them out with him and Zeke, and then you like most people thinking, oh, they finna be in the backfield, and you line them up in the slot, a lot of times you're going to have to counter that with a base D. If you have a base D going against Pollard and Zeke, that means naturally you're going to have a safety on Pollard or a linebacker. That's an automatic mismatch. So it's just so
It's probably gonna be a linebacker too, because they know they're gonna get. They know there's more of a chance of him getting the ball early than late. So it'll probably be a linebacker, because the safety's on him. That's 10 yards unless he in the box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So no, the answer to your question is no. I think they could have definitely creatively moved, and people would think like, is West Coast crazy? Is Boss crazy? Are they crazy on what they saying? Like, no, we're not crazy, because let me tell you, if Zeke played for the Dallas Cowboys in college, I know that don't make sense. Just give me time to make it make sense. If Zeke played for the Dallas Cowboys scheme in college, you would have never known that he was a 3-down back.
He wouldn't have been the number one draft. He wouldn't have been the number one. Yeah, he wouldn't have been the number one pick. He wouldn't have been the fourth overall pick either.
Down back that he was.
Yeah.
The reason why when he was being drafted that they said this guy is a sure 3-down, no miss back is because Ohio State showcased his hands a lot.
Exactly.
So another time I went full circle just to say, even Zeke not used right. Like it's Zeke got way more to him than just ground and pound. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Zeke got way more game to him that was clearly showed at Ohio State.
And
but we don't see it enough. And West Coast, and I say this all the time, what is Zeke's actually biggest plays?
Seeing up the busting up, hitting that A gap and hooey, or hitting that stretch.
His biggest plays.
Hooey. Oh, screen plays. Screens.
Yeah.
Screens.
Them screens.
Screen plays. That's a pass.
Ball in space.
And that's a pass play.
And it's a pass play to a degree. You know what I mean?
I thought you were talking about college.
No.
I'm talking about curly hair Zeke. What you talking about?
Zeke, when
Shirt up, Zeke.
Zeke go for 60 and 70 yards for touchdowns is when you get him in space.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That screen.
So Pollard and Zeke under our old system, to me, like if you put Zeke on a team like the Saints, where they use like over 20 different types of screens and misdirection type plays.
Yeah.
Or put Pollard over there. Oh, bro.
And I'm gonna tell you something that irritated me last year is everybody saying comparing Tony Pollard to Alvin Kamara, because guess what? He is like an Alvin Kamara. But guess what? Alvin Kamara is not a 3-down back. Like that's not what they did. They had Ingram as their back before that, and when Ingram went to the Ravens, they got the other kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They never put like, and that was crazy too, because you know what I thought in the back of my mind? I was thinking this. It's gonna show some real coaching to see if the Saints lose Ingram to the Ravens and just be like, okay, we're gonna make Kamara be something that he's not. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't do that. They went and got another kid. They put another kid in there and let him tote that rock. You know what I'm saying? They still tried to keep Alvin Kamara what he was. And that's why I say anybody that just flat out says, no, it won't happen, or no, he can't do it, it's literally like, it's just people that are just allergic to new ideas. And then it's not even that you're allergic to new ideas. I just think that some people don't just like going against the norm, because if you watch any film of Tony Pollard in college and then you look at him as a Dallas Cowboy, just like I said in my video, it's a totally different player. In the NFL, he's a running back.
Right.
He's a running back. He's a standard
athlete.
And then think about this: if the Dallas Cowboys thought that he was a 3-down running back, why did you draft my boy Webb Weber, who's now a Super Bowl champion, in the 6th round? Who is a true 3-down running back?
Yeah, he was a 3-down back.
Like, that doesn't make no sense. And that's why I kept on saying, like, when everybody was like, oh, if Zeke doesn't come back, Tony Pollard can be. I'm like, Tony's not even built like that.
No.
Like, he's not built like a 3-down run.
Games are different.
Those are totally different games. Like, think about this, man. Think about this. I'm not trying to, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to bring down Tony Pollard, because I'm not trying to bring down Tony Pollard. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring some real common sense to people so that we can then move on to the fact when I say that Tony Pollard would make so much sense in the slot. You want to know why? Because he's a 4th round pick, first off, and guess what? You have him on contract for the next 3 years. So you move him to the slot, his natural position. Think about all that money that you were going to save because the Dallas Cowboys were going to offer Randall Cobb something. So guess what? You can go use that $6-7 million you were going to get from Randall Cobb and go get a toy. Go get whatever you want. I don't care. But you tell me as a fan base, you wouldn't mind moving my boy Tony Pollard to the slot. You can draft a running back in the third round. My boy, Boss Cowboy, we gonna do a first round draft and then a third round draft. We're gonna show y'all that you can get yourself a nice running back. And when I mean by a running back, I don't mean because see, this is the thing. Zeke doesn't need a Tony Pollard. That's not really what Zeke needs. This team needs a Tony Pollard. What Zeke needs is C.J. Anderson. That's what Zeke needs. Or Zeke needs Keith Smith, which is a fullback, totally different position. But what he needs is someone that will go out there and administer pain so that he doesn't have to do it all the time. Someone told me today, oh, but Zeke is a great third down, a shortened third down. I know he is. But guess what? I just signed Zeke to like 6 years. I don't want to have to do that every single week. Like you shouldn't. Now my thought process is like when you buy a Lamborghini, do you drive it every day?
That's a pleasure vehicle.
Do you put a gang of miles on it?
Of course not.
No, why? Because everything is more expensive. So you know what you do? You get why on a 3rd and 1, second quarter, they know we running. Why does Zeke have to run the ball? Why can't we have a bruiser back, some young kid, and just let him go in there and just smack? Get 2 yards, come slide out, and then guess what? That same defense now has to deal with Zeke. That is a running team.
Big Game James in the house. What's up, baby?
What's up with you, Big James? Hey, man.
But
hold on. Let me finish though. Shout out to my boy Big Games too. But this is my thing. But my boy still did make a great point though. If you are going to be a running team, you need to have 3 running backs. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I will agree. I 100% agree with. So I see it like this, man. And the Dallas Cowboys definitely need to find a way in 2020 to maximize their utilization of Tony Pollard. Because think about this, man. If you get yourself a nice running back in the 3rd or 4th quarter, you could theoretically almost have a jumbo package because you have 3 running backs on the field right now. Like you could think about this, Boss Cowboy. You could literally from you receiving the ball, not even motion. You wouldn't even have to bring anybody off the field. You could leave your same 2 wide receivers on the field with Tony Pollard and move each 3 of these guys around, and each single time it would be a different formation and a different look. You could go from a power formation. Why? Because you still got 2 running backs on the field. That's the type of stuff that running teams do. Running teams are teams that have an excess in offensive linemen and running backs. Why? Because you're a running team. Just like if you're a passing team, you need to have what? Your 4th receiver needs to be what? Really, really good. Why? Because you're a passing team. That's why it doesn't surprise me that Kansas City Chiefs, who are a passing team, go look at their 4th receiver is Sammy Watkins. Well, he was until they told him he ain't coming back no more. But their 3rd or 4th receiver was a guy that we told no for $15 million. Why? Because they're a passing team. If we're going to be a running team, get yourself another stud that is going to prolong Ezekiel Elliott's life. Slide over there, put Tony P in the slot, save you some money, and then Boss Cowboy, I got a question for you, man. I'm gonna give you $6 million. $6 million to spend. What you won't get? What you gonna get, boss? Go ahead. You got just like this dude told his kid because it was his birthday. $6 million because that's the money I was gonna give to Cobb because I want people to stop focusing on because guess what? Cobb, my boy Tony can go to the slot and he'll get you just as good production as Randall Cobb. So we ain't gonna lose nothing. If anything, he'll get you better. Why? Because he's faster and he's way more elusive. You know what I'm saying? Like when Tony P gets the ball, he can do more with the ball in his hand than Randall Cobb does, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? They've showed that on tape. Cobb is nasty, though. But think about this. Cowboys was going to offer Cobb at least $6 million a year. What do you want? I'm going to give you that. Just give me Cobb to the slot, and I'll give you the money. You can add $6 million. What you want, Cobb? What you want? What you want, boss?
And it's too much to me panic over the 3rd receiver anyway, because
I know, but you got $6 million. What you buying? Let me know. I want to know. We shopping. Obviously, we're on the line. We're online because you can't go in store.
I'm not going to just pull something out the air. Because
I know, but what position? What position?
Like, because obviously, I feel like we still need linebackers, like for sure. Like if anybody is, really looking at our real needs in free agency. We've addressed the tackle.
Mm.
We still have Crawford sitting out there. I don't think they go do the deal that they said in the public where they saying they go likely move him to right end and go pay him to 8. I'm telling y'all now, Dallas is not gonna do that. Dallas is gonna do like they did Hearns. Wait a week before training camp. Write this down. They go wait a week before training camp and they go come to him and say, we need you to take this pay cut. But but going back to that $6 million, shoot, I mean, it's so much we can do with it. I would target linebacker with it.
Hey, think
right
about
now.
your own players. Think about your own players. I mean, just not even thinking selfishly. Just think about
I got you. So you could take that $6 million
Malcolm
and then
Smith.
close the Dak deal. You know.
Oh my God! Wow!
You know, you can, but that would be the only one really like close. Oh, I'm sorry. You right. Think about your own Malcolm Smith. Like I'm going right to
like
Malcolm.
that's for $6 million. You could probably get Malcolm Smith, Antoine Woods. Who else you probably could get? It's all good. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I go back and go straight to Malcolm and be like, hey man, this $6 million is way more than but most likely you go get anywhere else. You know what I mean? So
I wouldn't even. We probably not even.
We pretty much pulled you off the street.
We may not even have to give it to him too.
Trending up.
You might not even have given the whole $6 million.
Exactly. No, exactly. Sure. No, you're right. Like, yeah, if you even think about your own assets, and then you got my mind going now. Antoine Woods.
Yeah,
I'm closing that deal.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Easily.
I'm taking that 6 and I'm closing that deal right there too.
Malcolm Smith and Antoine.
I want that deal done.
Yeah.
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 Because you're talking about good DT now. You add him as a rotational player. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ain't nobody running on Dallas. Not with that. No, it's not going to be any running on Dallas. So, yeah, I would take that $6 million, the hypothetical at first, because I was like $6 million, and I would start thinking outside of Dallas. But when you start thinking inside of Dallas, what they can do, bruh. Yeah. And I'm gonna beat this horse. I'm still waiting on John Vay. I'm still waiting on him. I have a feeling, if it's a big if with him, because we saw the separation. It's gonna be, can he settle down, or is the lights? Because some people, when they get in the lights, they just freeze. But if he could settle down to where the game slows down and become like college, because everybody forget Jerry Rice had to drop C's year one with San Fran. Horrible drops, but he needed to settle down, settle in. If John Vay settle in, bro, with the separation he was showing, I would feel super comfortable with him as the number 3. And Devin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So even
oh my God, we're gonna have to talk about that at some point, bro. Like, what the hell happened?
Even if we don't just go full Pollard in the slot, right? Just to where you use him sporadically as a changeup, right? Like where you're trying to really catch a defense off guard, and you present a package that's gonna maybe put them on their toes. You still good in the slot. Like so many people, in my opinion, man, they forget what we already have. Even when we trying to draft, it's like don't forget we got Chris Westry too. Yeah. While we still talking about corner, we still have a 4-3-6-4 corner that's already been coached up fully by Chris Richard. And we know Chris Richard is a good teacher, and I know this from playing corner. Usually when you got somebody for a whole year that teach you, those skills remain even when that coach leaves.
Yeah, that's the primary goal is to do this, man, is to stop making it so obvious with Tony Pollard. I'm cool with Tony Pollard getting 1 or 2 touches, but the bulk of Tony Pollard's touches should be, or his game should be getting him in open space. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because his speed is world class. When he's able, and then the nice thing about it is he has a move that's going, if he makes that move on you, guess what? He's gone, and you want him making that move on safeties. You know what I'm saying? But the Dallas Cowboys, that's why I'm saying I'm not in such a, I know a lot of people are like, third receiver, we got to go get one of the big 3 wide receivers. I'm like, man, you go get, my thing is this on wide receiver, and we're actually about to go over that. We're about to go to that next. We're about to be drafting for a little bit. But my thing is this, when you go to wide receiver, man, it's like, my take on it is this, drafting wide receiver is this, man. All right, you got Michael Gallup, who was drafted in the 3rd round, right? So that doesn't. My question is this: like, if you get a good deal, like say you got Walmart, then you got the Beverly Hills Mall, right? You go to Beverly Hills Mall, you're like, dang, this is nice. You go to Walmart, you see the exact same product there, and it's cheaper. and it works just as good. You know what I'm saying? Which one are you gonna do? You're gonna probably want to go back to Walmart, right? And I'm not saying that my boy Michael Gallup was Walmart in the 3rd round, but I think it's gonna be the exact same situation when Michael Gallup came in the draft. A lot of those wide receivers, a lot of those weapons, and keep it real, boss. This is just something what I've seen, man. A lot of these weapons, since there's so many, a lot of these dudes get pushed back. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these dudes, you always have the one big name that comes out, and then everybody else kind of gets pushed back. So it's
That's
like
exactly what's happening.
And then my thing like this, boss, it comes down to product now, right? Now I'm sitting at Walmart and I'm saying, okay, I can buy this one for $20 or I can drive it down the street and buy that one for $30, right? What am I getting more for that $10 if it's the same product, right? So that's the question you got to really, really ask yourself. When you go look at the receivers who were drafted the year that Michael Gallup was drafted, right? You look at his stats and you look at the guy who was drafted in the 1st round, you know the difference? About $15 million. One guy's making about $15 million more than Michael Gallup. But when you look at the stats, you're looking at it and you're like, there's not really a difference. There's, you know what I'm saying?
Right
like
on.
all of the guys, they're all pretty good. Like they're all. I'm not saying
real good.
Like they're
It's
all
a
really
real
good.
draft.
You know what I'm saying? There's really not no.
But there's not like no moss space.
Exactly,
Like,
and that's what we're trying to say about
no
this
moss
draft.
difference.
Exactly.
It's not like if you get this guy, you are set for 10 years. It's none of that in this draft. Now they're real good. Like I say, most of these drafts is like no miss number 2s and no miss number 3s. You can miss on number 1 in this draft. you can. This draft will get you all the way. Like Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy might not be the same if he's a number 1 right now. You know what I mean? Like he's more so the type that you start him out as the number 2 and let him build his confidence and then put him out there as the number 1. But I'm not certain that any one of these guys coming in day 1 now as the real one. And Julius asked a real good question. He said, what running back, since we've been talking about that, would y'all take in this draft, if any? I'm going to tell you right now.
I already know who you're going to say.
The biggest sleeper is Taylor, bro.
I already knew
Wisconsin.
I knew you were going to say it. I already knew you were going to say it. Hey, get a center, too.
Shocked how nobody really talking about him. Like,
hey, they got a guard over there.
In the world?
I think it's a guard. Hey, they got a guard that's nice, too.
That sometimes they got rare traits.
Hey, what up, Tyrone Church?
Built like that.
Appreciate
with that Saquon build, vision, obvious good tape, fumble issues, but make him carry a ball around the star. I don't care. With 4.3 speed, bro. Come on, bro. Like, why are we acting like this guy shouldn't be a sure top 15 guy? I already put it out there. I say, man, this guy got rookie of the year traits, and everybody go act like where he come from. Like he was in your face the whole time. Like somebody like Taylor.
Yeah, he nice. And they got a guard over there that's nice too. They got a guard. They got a guard and a center. They got a guard and a center that's over there. That's nice.
Yeah. So now, like some people looked at my mock drafts because I pick him every time he fall to the 3rd, which I don't think he go fall that far. He likely somebody go get him in the 1st. Nobody go pass up on talent like that. Trust me. Just like Penny. Remember, Seattle got Penny.
Yeah, but he ain't really turned out well though.
Right.
I wasn't big.
Remember they got him.
Yeah.
And Penny measurables ain't even close to Taylor, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nor tape. Like, he had a good Senior Bowl, Penny did. He lit it up. But his tape compared to Taylor, no, bro. No, they're not even close, bro. Like, stop. Yeah. So if somebody picked Penny in the 1st round, somebody not go look at a body build and vision and quality tape like Taylor, need a running back and be like, oh no, we can get one of those in the 3rd. You don't find 4.39s with that type of build in the 3rd. Trust me on that. I know everybody trying to say that like you can get any running back in the 3rd that'll do. No, that's a lie. I don't care how many people say it, because if that was true, why have Seattle been trying to replace Beast Mode since he left?
Yeah, that's true. They got Carson over there. Then they got Rashad Penny. Then they got the other kid. I went there. I saw Penny run a lot, man, when he was at San Diego State. I liked him over Bryce Love. I did. I hope he do well. I like Penny though, but he just I don't know. I think some teams just don't know what they're doing with it, especially Seattle, man, because their offensive line, like they ain't never, like you traded a center for a tight end. I'll never forget that. And now your quarterback
Right.
getting killed. Like you trade a center for a tight end. But hey, shout out to Tyrone Church over on YouTube, man. Let's go ahead and get to this draft, man. I told you guys we're gonna be looking at some draft, doing a little mocky draft for tonight. So let's go ahead and pull this thing up and get this thing popping. Hey, this is brought to you by Fanspeak.com. So if you want to go over there and want to sign up, that'd be good. And that'd be cool. Let me go ahead and start this thing. We're gonna just do 3 rounds. Why? Because it can get I just want to stick to the 3 rounds tonight, and then we can go a little bit deeper into it tonight. Only because for time constraints, I only got about 20 more minutes, and because I know how we gonna talk about this first pick for 40 minutes, and then that's gonna be forever. So we gonna do 3 rounds tonight.
We go debate like it's no clock.
Yeah, I mean I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna do a gang.
It depends on how it fall though. If it might fall to where it's like so easy for both of us, like yeah. And I do want to say one thing about picking a receiver in the first round while you're doing that, pulling it up. If it happened, I'm not gonna be mad, bro. Like I'll be happy. Like I won't be like, oh, we dumb. I just say if we get like a Judy or a CeeDee Lamb or Ruggs or something like that, or Jefferson, I'ma just say Dak go throw for 5,000. That's all I'm gonna say. So Dak clearly finna throw for 5,000.
Yeah, man. I mean, as long as you're getting a great talent, man. You
I
can't lose. But I mean,
I don't want people to
you just
think
got other
like,
needs. You just got other needs that you know what I'm saying. Other
banging the table like we're so dumb. Oh no, I'll be happy.
All right, so here we go. So obviously some obvious stuff that happens.
You ahead of me, so you gonna have to tell me who's getting drafted like before.
Okay, I got you.
So like, cause cause see me, whenever I play with these draft simulators, I'm looking and hoping for it not to be a tackle run. I'm thinking it's gonna be a tackle run. I'm almost certain it's gonna be a tackle run this draft. But if it's not a tackle run, I'm super open to also getting tackled with my first pick, depending on who fall. Super open to it. Because while you pulling it up, I'm still all the way for totally fixing the offensive line. Because, I heard some people say we got a lot of money invested into offensive line. So we're good, but it's not the money. You got to get all of those people to play all together well. Because remember, in 2017, it was the same money allocated to our offensive line, but we had Chaz Green as our swing, and that broke the whole line down. You know.
Let me go ahead and go over these. Go ahead. Let me go over and go over these picks real quick. So with the number 1 pick, you had Joe Burrows, Cincinnati. Right behind him, edge rusher, you have Washington. Chase Young. After that, you have Derek Brown, D-line, going to Detroit. Linebacker Isaiah Simmons goes number 4 to the New York Giants.
So defense so far.
5, Tua to Miami Dolphins. 6, Hobart to Chargers. Kinlaw, number 7 to the Panthers.
Tackles are certain now. Tackle go fall this draft.
Number 8, Jerry Jeudy. Number 5, number 9, CeeDee Lamb. Offensive tackle, number 10, Andrew Thomas. Jeffrey Obuku, cornerback, goes to 11th to the Jets. 12, Justin Jefferson goes to the Raiders. C.J. Henderson, cornerback, goes to 49ers. Offensive tackle, Malik Becton goes to the Buccaneers. Henry Ruggs, the 3rd, goes to Denver. He goes to the Denver Broncos. And number 16 pick goes Calvin Casion. From LSU goes to Atlanta Falcons. So can you see what's up and available right now?
I can see, man. All right, we finna fight on this one probably. But we probably not, bro. Like, I'm definitely picking.
Oh, yeah, I am too. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I was.
If that happened, I ain't blinking.
Yeah, man.
The card is in.
Yeah, and the reason why this pick for me is come out so easy, simply because, man, in my opinion, I had Tristan as the